Hello everyone, welcome to my Emmerdale channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Anya died, while Kev went off the rails in spectacular fashion, and now he has a gun. It's been a shocking week in Emmerdale. From April's arrest to Anya's tragic death and Kev's descent into absolute chaos, Emmerdale pushed its characters and viewers right to the edge. Yet even amid the devastation, tiny sparks of warmth flickered through, hinting at the resilience that still lives beneath all the turmoil. April's antics and Bob's questionable judgment. The week opened with April calling Bob from Newcastle, needing an appropriate adult after being arrested. And honestly, I couldn't help rolling my eyes. The girl has an entire army of loving adults in her life. Marlon, Rona, Mary, Vanessa, even Ross would have been less chaotic than trusting Bob with a secret this enormous. Yet Bob, soft-hearted and far too easily manipulated, rushed to her side and kept quiet. I think it's clear he believed he was protecting her, but the decision felt naive at best. Meanwhile, Marlon was just thrilled to see April, blissfully unaware of the seriousness of her situation. It's telling that he worried more about her skipping Ivy's party than skipping school. The dynamics in that family are fascinating. Loving, yes, but worryingly uneven. Kev's spectacular unraveling. Kev's downward spiral this week was both horrifying and, in a strange way, wildly entertaining. His karaoke performance alone deserves a place in Emmerdale history. Chaotic, loud, and absolutely unforgettable. But then came the robbery, and that's where things turned properly dark. Kev dragged Lewis into the mess as an accidental getaway driver, while Liam sat in the car planning a murder mystery night for Chaz. I think that moment captures Emmerdale at its best. Tragedy, comedy, and utter chaos colliding in a perfect storm. Liam's horrified expression when he realized what was happening was genuinely one of the funniest beats of the week. But the laughter faded quickly. Kev now has a gun, a vendetta against Aaron, and absolutely no control over himself. And I can't shake the feeling that someone is going to get seriously hurt. Lewis and Kev, family secrets boiling up. One of the biggest shocks came with Nicola and Liam, and eventually Kev discovering that Lewis is Kev's son. The timeline was shaky, and Lewis knowing so much about his mom's past without knowing Kev's name was odd. But emotionally, it worked. I think the reveal adds a new depth to Lewis, who has quickly become one of the show's most likable characters. Where this father-son thread goes next is uncertain, especially with Kev in such a volatile state. But it's a storyline simmering with potential, for connection, for heartbreak, or for even more explosive fallout. A spark for Lewis, and maybe for Vinny. Lewis shone this week. His scenes with Nicola were genuinely tender, and there's a lovely sense of trust forming between them. But there was something else too, a quiet, surprising spark with Vinny. It's early days, but I think the chemistry was unmistakable. And in a week this bleak, the possibility of a new connection felt like a breath of fresh air. Anya's devastating death. Anya's decline was deeply unsettling, and her death was even more shocking. The storyline was already dark, but losing her pushed the tone into something far heavier. It leaves Bear devastated, Celia eerily composed, and the village shaken. Meanwhile, Kim Tate's brief visit to Celia's farm planted the tiniest seed of hope. Kim doesn't miss much, and I think she sensed something was off. Whether she chooses to get involved remains to be seen, but if anyone can sniff out trouble, it's Kim. Charity's unhinged crusade. Elsewhere, Charity's behavior was spiraling in its own bizarre way. Her sudden obsession with forcing Mac to bond with Liam and ditch Ross was so intense, I genuinely laughed out loud. She's practically glowing with guilt, and the longer she pushes, the more obvious it becomes. I think it's only time before the truth cracks through. This week felt like Emmerdale at its most unsettling. Gripping, messy, and boldly character-driven. Darkness settled over the village, but faint threads of humor and tenderness still fought their way through. And with Kev armed and spiraling, Anya gone, and secrets folding in on themselves, it's painfully clear that things are only going to get more explosive from here.